This video provides guidance to writing a research proposal for undergraduates. Aims of undergraduate research.
Undergraduate research has a number of aims.
Number 1. Enhancing learning.
The research provides the students with an opportunity to apply theoretical knowledge gained in the classroom to real-world problems. Therefore, it allows students to deepen their understanding of a specific subject or field by engaging in learning by doing.
Number 2. Developing research skills.
It helps the students to learn how to formulate research questions, design studies, collect and analyze data, and interpret findings. These skills are crucial for further academic pursuits, such as graduate studies, and for future careers that require analytical and critical thinking abilities.
Number 3. Fostering intellectual curiosity.
Undergraduate research cultivates students' intellectual curiosity and passion for inquiry. It encourages them to ask questions, challenge existing knowledge, and contribute to the advancement of their chosen field.
Number 4. Developing transferable skills.
Undergraduate research also helps developing a range of transferable skills that are important in various professional settings. These skills include critical thinking, problem solving, data analysis, communication, time management, teamwork, and project management.
Number 5. Preparing for future opportunities.
Undergraduate research prepares the students for future academic and professional opportunities. It provides a solid foundation for pursuing graduate studies or professional programs. Additionally, undergraduate research experience is highly valued by employers, as it demonstrates initiative, independent thinking, and practical skills relevant to the chosen field.
Number 6. Encouraging collaboration.
Undergraduate research also fosters a supportive and collaborative learning environment where students can work closely with teachers, experienced researchers, and industry experts. Preparing to write a research proposal.
Before initiating the writing process for a research proposal, it is crucial to consider several key elements. The initial step involves identifying a research topic that is connected to a specific problem. Each of these elements can be addressed individually as drafts, allowing you to explore them thoroughly. Eventually, you can integrate these various aspects to compose the final research proposal.
Let us now discuss these elements that are parts of a research proposal.
The elements we consider are problem identification, literature review or background information, research objectives, research methodology, work plan, and finally, the budget. Let us consider the first one, that is, problem identification.
Problem identification is a critical step in undergraduate research, as it lays the foundation for the entire research project. It involves identifying a research problem or question that is worth investigating.
Many students find it difficult to identify a research topic. But it is not as difficult as you think. Research ideas can come from two sources.
Sources of research ideas.
As already stated, you could find research ideas from two sources.
First one is from real life.
Identifying a research problem can be as simple as observing the issues in your local workplace. You may encounter ongoing issues daily in your workplace, or observe your colleagues struggle with major issues. These ongoing obstacles and issues in the workplace can be the catalyst for developing a research problem.
The second source is scholarly work.
Research problems can also be identified by reviewing recent literature, reports, or databases in your field. Often the section of recommendations for the future studies provided at the end of journal articles or doctoral dissertations suggest potential research problems.
After you find a possible research problem, you need to evaluate it yourself to ensure that it leads to an appropriate research. A research problem is deemed appropriate when it is supported by the literature, and considered significant, timely, novel, specific, and researchable.
Once you have identified a research idea or problem, it should be evaluated according to several criteria.
Number 1, supported by literature.
Your research problem should be relevant to the field and supported by several recent studies in the field. If you are addressing an issue in an industry, the existence of the issue should be supported by appropriate and reliable sources, and ensure that standard solutions are not available for the issue. Even if you identify a problem based on the recommendation of one journal article or dissertation, you will still need to conduct a literature search and ensure that other researchers support the problem, and the need for conducting research to further address the problem.
Number 2, significance.
Your research problem should have a positive impact on the field. The impact can be practical, in the form of direct application of the results in the field, or conceptual, where your research outcomes contribute to advance the knowledge.
Number 3, timeliness.
Your research problem should be related to the current needs in the field and well-suited for the present status of the issues in your field. Explore what topics are being covered in current journals in the field. Look at calls from relevant disciplinary organizations. Identifying a current question in the field and supporting the problem with the recent literature can justify the problem's timeliness.
Number 4, novelty.
Your research problem should be original and unique. It should seek to address a gap in the knowledge and/or application. An exhaustive review of literature can help you identify whether the problem has already been addressed. Talking to experts in the research area can illuminate a problem. Remember that novelty is a relative concept and can vary depending on the specific field of research. What may be considered novel in one discipline might be well established in another. It is crucial to have a clear understanding of the existing body of knowledge and to critically evaluate how your research idea contributes to that knowledge.
Number 5, specific and clear.
Your research problem should be specific enough to set the direction of the study, raise research questions, and determine an appropriate research methodology. Vague research problems may not be useful to specify the direction of the study or develop research questions.
Number 6, researchability.
Research problems are solved through the scientific method. This means researchability, or feasibility of the problem, is more important than all the above characteristics.
You, as the researcher, should be able to solve the problem with your abilities and available research methods, designs, research sites, resources, and timeframe. If a research problem retains all aforementioned characteristics but it is not researchable, it may not be an appropriate research problem.
Once the problem has been identified, you could present it in the introduction section of the proposal, along with background to the proposed study, justification, scope, and the limitations. Once the problem has been recognized, the subsequent step involves performing a literature review to assess the present state of the issue and explore the existing efforts made by others in order to address it. You should have referred to some literature and background information to evaluate your research problem expected to be pursued. But this is not sufficient to fully understand the current situation of the research area you are working on. Therefore, you need to do in-depth review of literature and include in the proposal for several reasons. Reasons for conducting a literature review. Number 1, justify the research.
By reviewing the literature, you can demonstrate the significance of your research topic, its relevance to the field, and its potential contributions.
Number 2, avoid duplication.
A literature review allows you to ensure that the proposed research is original and has not already been conducted.
Number 3, develop research questions/hypotheses.
Literature review helps you to define the research questions or hypotheses.
After evaluating the current state of knowledge and previous research conducted by others in addressing the problem or related issues, the subsequent stage involves formulating research objectives and hypotheses.
Based on the insights acquired from the literature review in the previous step, it is now necessary to establish the objectives for your research.
A research objective is a statement that outlines the purpose of the research. It describes what you intend to achieve or investigate through the research. The objectives should be measurable so that you can track your progress and determine whether you have achieved your goals. The objectives should also be achievable within the given time and resources available.
Another important element of a research study is the hypothesis. The objective and the hypothesis should be matching to each other.
A hypothesis is a specific and testable statement or prediction about the expected relationship or outcome of the research. The main difference between a hypothesis and an objective is that a hypothesis is a prediction, while an objective is a goal.
Shortly, we will examine a few examples of objectives and hypotheses, by which we'll get better understanding of their difference.
A hypothesis should be composed of 3 elements. Number 1, independent variable.
This is the variable that is manipulated or changed by the researcher.
Number 2, dependent variable.
This is the variable that is measured or observed to see how it changes, in response to the change of independent variable.
Number 3, prediction.
This is the statement that indicates what will happen when the independent variable is changed.
A hypothesis is written in the format, if, then. That is, if you do something, then what will happen? Objectives and hypothesis, example 1.
The objective.
To enhance the productivity of a bottling plant by introducing an automated systems for bottle transfer points.
The hypothesis.
If an automated system is employed at transfer points in a bottling plant, then the productivity would increase by significantly. To prove or disprove the hypothesis, you are required to use experimental approach in the study, in which you must make a prototype and conduct tests. Or you could use simulation software to prove the hypothesis or disprove it. Objectives and hypothesis, examples 2.
The objective. To investigate the effect of organic fertilizers on plant growth in terms of height, leaf count, and yield.
Hypothesis.
If plants are treated with organic fertilizer, then they will exhibit increased growth in terms of height, leaf count, and yield compared to plants treated with chemical fertilizers or no fertilizers.
Objectives and hypothesis, examples 3.
The objective.
To increase brand awareness among the target audience by 20% within 6 months through a comprehensive digital marketing campaign.
The hypothesis.
If spending on advertising social media platforms is increased, then corresponding brand recognition is enhanced. Objectives and hypothesis, example 4.
The objective.
To develop a more efficient solar panel design that maximizes energy conversion and improves overall performance by changing the surface coating.
The hypothesis.
If a novel surface coating is incorporated on the solar panels to reduce reflection and increase light absorption, then energy conversion efficiency will be increased by at least 10%. In some cases, especially when it is necessary to incorporate or modify machines to solve a problem, students frequently conclude their studies after designing these machines without assessing them according to the hypothesis. Consequently, there is no guarantee that the proposed solution will adequately tackle the identified problem. The acceptance of research conducted up to the stage of introducing a problem-solving method, without evaluating it, can be based on the intended program outcomes. The next major step of research is the research methodology. Research methodology and research methods are often confused or misunderstood, but they are closely linked, yet separate concepts within the research process.
Research methodology refers to the overall framework or approach used to conduct the research. It encompasses the underlying principles, strategies, and procedures that guide the entire research process, from the formulation of research questions to the interpretation of results. Some of the approaches, or strategies used, are experimental, observational, qualitative, quantitative, survey, action, historical, and mixed strategies.
Research methods refer to the specific techniques, tools, and procedures used to gather data and information within the chosen research methodology. They are the practical steps taken to collect and analyze data. In the research proposal, research methods can be included as a part of the research methodology.
It is important to note that the research methodology is not simply a list of activities to be carried out in sequential order. It is a broader framework that guides the entire research process. The specific activities within that process may not always occur in a strictly linear or sequential fashion.
While there is a general flow to the research process, the actual sequence of activities can vary depending on the nature of the research, the methodology chosen, and other contextual factors.
The research methodology provides an overall structure and approach, but researchers often need to make iterative decisions, revisit certain steps, or adjust their approach based on emerging insights or challenges encountered during the research.
A work plan in a research proposal outlines the specific tasks, activities, and timeline for conducting the research project. It serves as a roadmap that guides the researcher through the different stages of the study and ensures that the project is executed efficiently and effectively. It should demonstrate the feasibility and demonstrate that the researcher has carefully considered all the necessary steps to achieve the research objectives within the given timeframe.
The next item to be considered is the budget.
When preparing a budget for a research proposal, it is important to include all the necessary expenses required to conduct the research project. Generally, a budget may include payments for staff, equipment purchasing or hiring, software, fabrication of items, travel and accommodation, data collection and analysis, subcontracting, and overheads. Breakdown of costs should be done according to the funding organization.
Now, you possess a clear understanding of your intended actions for the research endeavor. All these elements you can put into a proposal report. Let us now look at a format or a layout for research proposal.
First item is the title. The title should be clear, concise, and informative. It should accurately reflect the content of the proposal.
Chapter 1, Introduction.
The introduction should provide a brief overview of the research topic, including the problem that the research will address, the significance of the research, and the research questions that will be explored, together with the objectives and the hypothesis.
Chapter 2, Literature Reviews.
The literature review should discuss the existing research on the research topic, including the theories, methods, and findings of previous studies. The literature review should identify any gaps in the existing research that the proposed research will fill.
Chapter 4, Methodology.
The research methodology section should describe how the research will be conducted. This section should include information on the research design, the data collection methods, and the data analysis methods.
Chapter 5, Time Plan.
This should present a detailed timeline that outlines the various stages of your research project, with milestones, such as literature review completion, data collection, data analysis, and final report writing.
Chapter 6, Budget.
The budget should provide an overview of the resources required for your research, such as equipment, materials, or software.
At the conclusion of the proposal, it is essential to include a compilation of references arranged in accordance with an approved referencing and citation format.